if you mess with my husband.
Your boy Molito can keep a secret from everybody but my wife.
My husband cannot hold water.
To you.
Don't let him fool you.
To you.
Okay.
I tell you all the tea. If you tell me tea, it's spilling over here. You hear me? We might be.
I'm gonna tell my wife.
You might as well look at us as a tea set.
Hey everybody, and welcome back to another episode of Life After I Do. I'm your host, Risha D. And I'm here. We'll wait again. Hey.
You're here with who?
I'm here with this man to my right.
This man.
This man.
Just the guy that's been knocking your boots for the last 20-some years.
Not necessary.
That guy.
My husband.
Your husband.
My husband.
Molito. What's up, Buskies?
Nothing. What's going on with you?
Nothing. I got good energy today.
You got good energy?
I've had a really good day.
That's good. Me too.
Really good day.
Yeah.
Really. It hasn't been the most productive, but it's been good.
It hasn't been?
No.
Why?
But it's been good.
Why? I'm gonna try to cover up my hands a little bit, y'all, because
she asked you.
I forgot to put lotion on again.
She ain't the only one.
Sorry. Well, also because I washed my hands, at least I washed my hands. But after I washed my hands, I guess the soap isn't that moisturizing because my fingers is light. But yeah, so why hasn't it been a productive day?
Oh, because I just chose not to be productive.
You were productive. I
mean, I got some things done, but I didn't maximize my potential.
Get the freak out of here. What the hell? You didn't maximize your potential?
Not at all. Not at all.
Okay.
Not at all.
Okay. Well, what could have made it? Which could you have done to maximize your potential? I
probably could have worked on some of my podcast stuff a little more.
Okay.
Because I haven't, my other venture, I haven't touched that stuff. And
his other venture.
And
in case you guys didn't know, he's on another podcast called The Heavyweight Podcast.
The Heavyweight Podcast.
The Heavyweight Podcast. So
Shout
don't
out.
Get it confused with the other
Shout
one.
out to Stutter.
But yeah.
Mr. Gaptooth.
Kevin Wendell. And my boo, Des the Diva.
Not your boo.
It's my boo. Des the Diva.
I'm so tired of black women standing together. I'm just playing. She didn't even like you. I'm just playing. But I could have been doing some stuff for that stuff, and I only recorded one video today, and when I woke up, I was like, I'm gonna try to get at least 2 or 3 done. Mm-hmm. But then when I went to try to make the second one, I couldn't find my source material. So
you better than me because I started off real ambitious this morning.
Uh-huh.
I had my tripod in my backpack and everything, and I was like, because today was leg day, so I was like, okay, today would be a perfect day to record my workout and stuff because it's a leg day,
Didn't do nothing.
After I warmed up, I got in the
in mode.
Here's the thing. I think what I'm gonna have to do.
Tell the truth, baby.
I think what I'm gonna have. This is what I'm gonna have to do, where it's gonna make more sense. I'm gonna have to have a day where it's a recording gym day, because trying to record when I'm actually working out. I'm too focused
on what you're doing.
Yeah, I'm too focused on what I'm doing to worry about if my camera's recording, to worry about the angle. I'm trying to push this 680 on my legs right now.
That's it.
I'm trying to
lightweight.
Come on now. We already know how much I can do on legs. We already know how much I can do on legs, and you're not there.
To your point, I will say, before you try to belittle me, to your point, I will say that all of my gym videos are videos that you have recorded.
Yeah, right. Because it works better when you're with someone.
Yeah, because I'm not finna take the time to sit up.
I'm not doing it. I'm not doing it. The way my RDLs took me out today.
Right.
There was no way in hell I was finna set up no damn tripod and sit there and try. So what I'm gonna have to do is I'm gonna make a little compilation day.
Right.
And I'm gonna just do like my legs, and then I'll do my upper body and then I'll put it together and then I'll edit them and be like, oh, here's what I do on leg day.
I just try to make it a point, if you guys follow me, Molito, Instagram. I try to make it a point to take at least a selfie.
Yeah.
To make a story.
Yeah.
You don't even do that.
A selfie?
Yeah.
I take selfies.
But you don't post stories.
Oh, no.
No, you don't post nothing.
No.
So what's the point?
And you know what's funny? Because you know where I post the most?
Snapchat.
I post the most on Snapchat.
And nobody not Snapchat.
I do. I post the most on Snapchat and everybody is always like, girl, like you can post. We like to see this on Instagram too. Cause like when I do something, especially with my makeup or something, and I post it on Snapchat, everyone's like, okay, so where's the YouTube? Where's the YouTube tutorial? Where's the Instagram? Can we I do have a makeup page Instagram, but that's primarily for just like when I work, but not necessarily me doing my thing,
save video and then upload it again.
Huh?
You can literally save the video. And then...
I could. Maybe I'll do that.
No, you're not.
But I just feel like with the snaps, they're literally that. They're snaps. They're super short.
So how about you tell us about your week, Booski? So we're not going to go too long about the day. How was your week?
Oh, my week was productive. Shut up. You're not Phoenix. My week was productive. This is still the beginning part of the week. So if we're including like last week.
Yeah, we are.
I'm going to say there's like a gnat or something.
We're recording since the last time we recorded.
So it's been pretty good. Like I went over my stats in my fitness app and stuff.
Talk about your birthday.
And I will. And everything looks good. Like I've been hitting my marks.
You getting leave it alone.
I can't. He won't leave me alone. Okay.
You're getting skinny.
Okay. What? According to Phoenix,
you're a little skinny.
Just a little bit. She said, Mom, you getting skinny. Just a little bit, but not like a lot, just like a little bit. And as we're walking into the store and the lady's like laughing, I was like, a win is a win. Mm-hmm. But
she told me I can't get too little because I won't be able to pick her up.
Yeah.
I said, Phoenix, Daddy's losing weight. She said, don't lose too much weight. I said, I'll still have my muscles. No,
it's not the same.
She said, skinny daddy can't pick me up.
Right. I mean, I'm
and
with
apparently
her
her husband gonna be bald and have a beard. Cause she said,
I was like, tell me your kids. Like, tell me your daughter's father is not her first love without telling me he's not her first love. We were watching Balloon Pop, right? And here comes Phoenix moseying on into our room and we're watching Balloon Pop and it's a male contestant trying to look for a female, right? And she instantly starts critiquing what he's wearing. She's critiquing his hair. She was like, I like the beard, but I don't like the hair. And I was like, you don't? Because he had dreads. I was like, you don't like his hair? And she was like, no. I said, well, what kind of hair do you think he would look better in? Like, what kind of hair do you like? And she was like, I like a bald head. She was like, Mommy, I like a bald head. And then I like a beard, like a big beard. I said, oh, you do? And she was like, yeah. And I turned and looked at you and I was like, tell me your kid.
She said, I like a beard like Dad and Uncle CJ.
Yeah. Cause she said she like a big beard. So I was like, tell me you're not your kid's first love without telling me you're not going to be your kid's first love. So then when she's like telling you not to get too small, I was like, see, she's going to want a big bearded bald guy. But so back to my week. Everything's been good. I had a birthday this past weekend, January 3rd. Thank you. Stop. Hold the applause. Thank you.
You're so damn funny.
So I am 30 great years old.
30 great. Oh
I am God. 30 great years old.
What's great about it? Because your knees pop.
First of all, I know you ain't talking about my knees popping because you saw me do my Bulgarian split squat today.
Yeah.
Don't play me like that.
Your knee wasn't popping.
But I was able to get through it, and that's what matters.
And I'm proud of you.
But yeah, so I had a birthday. I'm 38 years old. I had a wonderful birthday dinner.
You heard I said?
What?
I'm loving this lip.
Oh, you like the lip today? Oh, great. I'm happy you like it because I thought you weren't going to like it because it's like really, really nude. But I put gloss on top of it because I thought that would give it a little bit more noticeability for you. See, I be thinking about you. So I had a really great and wonderful birthday dinner. Shouts out to Louisiana Purchase for not disappointing because I was looking forward to my birthday dinner all week. And we had I invited some friends out, and I don't know if this happens to you guys, but you have that favorite restaurant that you have, and the minute you talk about it, you hype it up, you tell your friends about it, and then you guys go and then try to experience it together. That's the one day they be messing up the kitchen. The kitchen just can't kitchen that day. So I was really nervous about inviting friends because I was like, I really don't want Louisiana Purchase to ruin this for me because I really like this restaurant. And so the appetizers started off really great. My friends were like, "Oh, this is good." We had what was it? Fried alligator tail?
It was gator bites.
Gator bites. So it was fried alligator tail on a bed of like seasoned Cajun fries. So good. And what was the sauce?
It was like
Stop staring off into the abyss.
I'm thinking it was like a tangy honey mustard sauce.
It was so good, so good. And then the waitress, she was, asking if we wanted to have drinks or whatever. And for those of you who don't know, I don't drink alcohol. So I was like, "Oh no, like I don't drink." And she was like, "I can make you a mocktail." And I was like, "Oh," and she was like, "It'll be just like a drink, but instead, it won't have the alcohol in it."
Money.
And whatever she made me, because she had me sold, when she was telling me some of the things she could put in there, she had mentioned lime and ginger. And when she said lime and ginger, what did I say?
You said, "Oh yeah."
I said, "Oh yeah, that's me. That's me right there." I said, "You mentioned lime and ginger, two of my favorite things." And she was like, "Okay." So she had lime, ginger. She put some mint in there.
It looked nice.
It was so good and refreshing.
It looked
and she
pretty.
put the little seltzer water in there. It was.
Yeah, it looked pretty. It was a waste of money, but it looked pretty.
It looked like a real alcoholic beverage.
Yeah, you was faking for the
So my photo looked really
Not
cute.
the smacking.
It looked really cute because everybody was like, "Oh my gosh, like what you drinking, girl?" I was like, "Girl, it's a special birthday mix."
So fake.
But I will say, as soon as I tasted it, I was like, "You know what'll really set this off? Some tequila."
Wow. Right.
So tequila would really set this off right now, but it was really good. So thanks for making it a pretty good 30 great birthday, babe.
I try to do what I can.
I appreciate it. And then for those of you who don't know, I celebrate my birthday all month. So that was my birthday, which is January 3rd. But we celebrate my birthday.
She does. I don't do that no more.
It's all month. So
I don't do that. I don't do that
whenever
anymore.
he tries to question me about something, like going to Sephora 3 days in a row. When he tries
was it 3 or 4?
when he tries to question me on stuff like that, I just be like, I don't know what to tell you because it's my birthday month. So my birthday month is kind of like get out of jail free card a little bit.
Okay, all right. I'm gonna use that same tactic.
No, you can't, because it has to be something that's been a tradition. Like you can't just like
That's
midlife start traditions unless it's for your children.
That's why I think about the tradition. You can start one.
Well, it's better like if you're doing it for your kid, but not like for yourself.
My birthday tradition is gonna be my birthday party anyway. I'm gonna do it everywhere.
Yeah, we're just gonna try to not make the tradition you having too much fun.
Oh no, I'm not doing that anymore.
I'm not doing that no
more. I didn't
more.
do it this year or last year.
No, you didn't.
Yeah,
I'm really proud of you.
Okay, I'm happy you had a good week.
Yeah. So how was your week?
Oh, we ain't got time for my week.
We got plenty of time for your week.
You took all the time.
How was your week, babe? There's no time limit.
My week was arousing.
Not because of me.
Yeah, it was.
Why?
Because when you hit that switch.
What switch?
You hit that switch on Phoenix, and you've been doubling down, and you've been like you and her
talking about because
it's just my time to talk.
Go ahead. Well, they got to know what you're talking about.
When you hit that switch and you kicked on Mean Mommy.
I was not trying to be mean,
but you was a mommy that don't play, and I was like, I didn't think she had it in her.
Really?
I said, oh, because normally, I'm the one I gotta come in and be kind of like the bad guy, and you like, babe, you don't go too hard on her, don't go too hard on her. But you were going, and I said, look at her draw the line in the sand, and Phoenix was looking at you like,
she was not having it.
She was befuddled.
She was not having it.
She was befuddled.
She was like, ma'am.
Who is you?
She was like, I'm gonna get in this bed.
She said, it wasn't even proper English. She said, who is you?
It was like the
you
battle.
ain't my mom. Who is
like
you?
the battle.
So that I said, okay.
He's referring to not letting our 7-year-old get in our bed.
It wasn't even. It was more than just that.
So like
it started at your dad's house.
Well, yeah, that too.
It
Because she was just, she's been on break and she's been
breaking.
Oh. Like when we just let her have a little bit of, like, I guess free will. I don't know. Cause when we're in school, like she has gymnastics and she has school. So when we are in school, everything is very structured during the week, like she doesn't have a problem going down at her bedtime. She has like her workout schedule. She has her gymnastics schedule. Everything is pretty rigid. Yeah. So when she goes on break, I try to make it a point to like let her just live a little bit. I try not to be too rigid on bedtime and stuff like that. Because just let her live a bit. I remember what breaks was like, and don't nobody want to be going to bed at 7:30 on break. And she doesn't have a problem going back into her routine, so that's why I also don't mind it. Yeah. But this particular break, she's also gotten older, so. Yeah.
But she's also getting to that point to where she is testing every boundary.
Oh yeah, yeah, rightfully so.
Other than that, it was pretty solid. I finally broke through my weight plateau. So
that's great.
So the scale finally moved in the right direction again. I was happy about that.
Very good.
And the only thing I don't like about my week is all these new year new me people in my way.
Goodbye. I will say, but here's the thing. You also go. So when we work out together, we get to the gym about 8:00. But because she's home, obviously somebody has to be home. So you've been going at what, the 6:00 hour, which I feel 5:36, which I feel like is almost like a peak time that most people go because they're going before work or something.
I'm gonna start going at 4.
Oh, don't do that.
Yeah, 4.
No,
because I went at 4 one day and it was cool.
Oh, well, maybe because the 1:00 people are starting to.
No, I'm talking about 4 a.m.
Oh, 4 a.m. Okay, yeah.
You ever going to gym at 4 p.m.? That's almost my bedtime.
Bye. So yeah, but when I get there, I've been going at like 9:30, and by the time I get there, all the people from your shift are
not my shift.
all the people from your time slot are starting to like dwindle down. So when I walk in, it's like people sprinkle. Like today, when it comes to legs, what's always full?
Leg press.
Leg press. Always full. I walk straight in, 2 leg presses available.
Oh, that's good for you.
Like I walked in, there was
she just flexing. What we got today? Because I could have sworn it was me talking about my week, and then she took over.
Taking over. I'm talking about your week with you. But I was just saying. I'm talking about your week. I'm just saying because you were saying all the new year, new me people. But yeah, I get it. But I'm just saying, like, I commend everybody for starting their journey. That's one thing I can say about the gym. Yeah. The gym do be full in January.
It be gymming.
Love it. I
don't.
I know why you don't. And I have to agree with you.
I don't.
Because the amount of people who don't pick up after themselves.
They start breaking shit. Don't know how to use shit. I saw a lady today. She was doing cleans. Cleans like powerlifting cleans. While she was at the bench press. So she was straddling the bench press doing cleans. I'm like, ma'am, there are 4 squat racks open right there. And you're taking a
Was she supersetting or something?
No. Oh. It was no weight on the bar, just
like sitting down on the bench.
She was standing up.
She just used that bar.
Right. I said she
should have just took the bar.
I said, ma'am, there's 2 sets of bars up front for stuff like that, and there's 12 squat racks, and 4 of them was open.
But I'm willing to guess, and hear me out. I'm willing to guess the reason she did that is because there's a bar missing on at the squat racks. Because after I got off bench yesterday, the guy was waiting for me to get off bench, and as soon as I got up after I wiped down, he took the bar and took it over to the squat rack.
Okay, here's the thing.
Because there's a missing bar on the squat rack.
The bar's not missing.
It's somewhere in the gym.
One of the squat racks probably have double, or they've left it outside somewhere, and that's the other problem. People don't get me started. What we got today, Booster? No. I'm about to start being. I'm gonna ask the gym if I can be an enforcer.
I think they should. Okay, so like on the grassy area, those dumbbells are blue.
Yeah.
So those belong to the grassy area. I think they should do that with the rest of the dumbbells. Like all the ones that are in the gym should be black, but the ones that go outside should be like green, and then the ones that are for the grass area should stay blue. So anything that's black, we know, like black and coated is for the gym, and then the ones that are not coated, the ones that can rust,
the bars
those are for the second grass area.
The bars are color coded. Do they care? I bet you even know the bars.
I did. One's black and one's silver.
Yeah, those are color coded. Do they care?
They don't.
Okay. What we got today, Booski? These people don't give a damn about nothing but themselves. What we got today, Booskies?
Like when I couldn't find the 17 and a half.
And I had to go outside and find it for you?
And then then there was a 60-pound in the 15. I said, who did that? You had to walk to the whole other side. From 60 pounds to 15. Yeah, I'm with you on that.
What we got today, Booski?
We got a video.
Okay.
Basically about the importance of having married friends.
Okay.
Yeah. Do you think it's important to have married friends?
It's important to have married friends so you can go out and do things together, like birthday parties at Louisiana Purchase.
That's not the only reason why it's important to have married friends, babe, but let's listen to the video. And then I will get
I thought I'd get a great example.
Yeah. Ready?
People who are not obligated to a covenant have no understanding of keeping it.
Yeah, that's good.
If you're not obligated to a covenant,
words and stuff like you just,
if you're not obligated to a covenant, you don't have the language of understanding why you need to stay in it. Because people don't understand covenant. They don't understand a vow. You know, it's honestly to the point that when I marry people now, I don't even say the whole life for richer, for poor, for better, for worse, through sickness and health, because people don't mean it. They don't mean it. They don't understand what the word vow means, right? So when you need friends who understand vows, because if you have people who don't understand vows, they're not going to push you into keeping yours. But when you got people in your life who understand vows, those are the type of people to say, well, you mad right now, but you going back home.
Okay.
That part.
Coming back home.
That part. I can't tell you how many conversations I've had like that. Like, yeah, you mad right now. You really pissed off at him right now. I get it. But guess what you gonna do?
Girl.
You finna go right back to the house.
I'm gonna get my Chipotle. Walk around Best Buy for a little bit. Come on home. Go upstairs, sit in my office, and then when I'm ready to talk to her, I go say, "You want to talk about it?
You want to talk about this, or are we gonna be beefing for the next day or two? How we gonna play this?" I took my mom by my spot. Where I go to hang out by myself when I get food and like just sit in the parking lot, and she goes, "What the hell you go back there for? Where nobody can see you by all those damn bushes in the back of a building."
That's why.
I said, "That's why I go."
Yeah, I lock the door. The car is on.
That's what I told her. I was like, the car is always on, so if I need to like make a quick one, I can make a quick one.
And I have your location. I know.
But I be needing to like get away. And it made me think about, like, when I heard this video too, it had made me think about when we had got into a spat at like 10 o'clock or something at night.
And that pissed me off. I know
that upset you because I left the house.
I understand this is what you do, but it is too late. It is too late for this right now.
All I did was go park in the Wendy's parking lot. This time I didn't go behind a building. I went somewhere where it was lit so people could see me. But nonetheless, I still had to go be by myself. So I went by the trash can.
Okay.
But yes, so your thoughts on...
Yeah, people, we do argue.
Of course we argue. I don't think people think we don't argue.
We beef over here.
We do. That's what I try to explain to like some of my friends, you know.
We just understand
when they make comments like, "Oh my gosh, you guys are so happy. Like he's so great and you guys work so good together." I'm like, "Okay, that's great and all." But he still be getting on my nerves. Like,
look here,
we also know how to put on a really great face when we need to be in front of people if we're spatting.
Look here, on the outside, I am the perfect husband.
Too bad that doesn't matter.
But when you get in this thing, there's some room for improvement.
There's some room.
I ain't the worst.
No, you're not the worst. I'm sure there's worse out there. I don't know. I wouldn't want to find out.
I wouldn't say I'm the best.
Yeah. But anywho, back to the topic at hand.
I was talking about the topic.
Oh, okay. Go ahead.
I agree with what he is saying. I do think that a lot of people today don't understand the sanctity that is marriage and what the vows mean and what the vows are and what your intentions behind the vows should be.
Mm-hmm.
I do think that a lot of people get married for the title, for the status, for what they deem to be beneficial to them. A lot of people, a lot of ladies want the ring. A lot of men just want
a house slave.
Okay, that's what you want to call it. They want the arm candy or whatever the case may be, and they're not getting married for the right reasons. They're getting married. They're getting married out of vanity, almost like just so they can appear to be one thing, and they don't really understand the amount of work that comes with marriage. Right, because if you have issues before the marriage is just going to make things.
It's going to amplify it
that much more.
I don't know what it is with the titles, but those titles tend to amplify things. So, like, what do you think is like a good reason
for what?
For marriage? Because you say you think people marry for the wrong reasons.
Mm-hmm.
So what should be some valid reasons that people would want to get married? Like, why did you want to be married?
Because I looked across at you and I saw someone who loved me for me.
Okay.
I saw someone who loved me when I didn't love myself. Someone that stood by me in my darkest days, and someone that was loyal to me when I wasn't even loyal to myself. And someone that believed in me when I couldn't even see my dreams anymore because of what I was going through. And with that, I was already in love with you from the relationship we had prior to those events in life happening where I took the downward spiral. But you being steadfast and standing by me in those moments, and then even loving me enough to say, hey, look here, like I need you to get yourself together because you're starting to weigh me down.
Yeah.
To even give me the tough love that was required, you showed me that you were here for me.
Yeah.
And so that instilled in me something that was like, okay, well, like I always say, like this woman being you, like Kanisha or Nisha G loved me when I had nothing and when I was nothing. So when anything that I obtained from this point on in my life, she's more than entitled to it because she held me up when I couldn't hold my own self up.
And I think that's one of the most important things when you talk about like the tough love and as it pertains to the topic, like having married friends, because I think when you're able to give like some tough advice or try to express that tough love with a friend who might be going through a tough time with their partner, and you're basically having to tell them something that they probably didn't want to hear, because when you're in spat with your spouse or you guys are on the outs, you really are looking for somebody to kind of like agree with you,
to champion with your point of view.
With you, right?
Because you don't, I'm hanging up.
But as somebody who is also married and as somebody who is who has had a shared experience with somebody else who's married, I can come from the outside and be like, hey, your single friends probably ain't gonna tell you this, but I'm gonna go ahead and tell you because what y'all going through right now, I've been through. And as somebody who had to work through it, I'm gonna let you know, one, you probably could have handled it differently. Two, y'all still gonna be married at the end of the day, so we gotta move forward. You know what I'm saying? As opposed to being like, girl, I wouldn't take that from him. No, he didn't. Like, he ain't shit. Like, you know what I'm saying? Your single friends might be more inclined to take that approach because they haven't been in, as he said, covenant with someone to the extent where you're kind of forced to work through it. So I think basically having shared experiences is also another positive to having married friends. Would you agree? Why are you looking at me like that? It's creepy.
Because I'm just looking at everything put together.
What?
It's nice. Your eyes. It's like everything is like it's not monotone, but it all go together, and it's doing it for me.
Oh my gosh. Sorry, guys.
I love my wife.
I'm happy I was able to
every now and then you still
visually please you this evening.
Every now and again you still wow me.
Every now and again.
Yeah. What I try to do is I try to play out the gate. I try to play devil's advocate because I understand a lot of times when someone's coming to you to vent, they're only going to vent to you their side of the story
or how they perceived it.
or how they perceived it, right? So I try to play devil's advocate in the fact of say, okay, how was it said? In what context was it said?
What started it?
Right. Could you possibly be taking it the wrong way? Could you possibly have heard the wrong thing?
Or you were just wrong.
Right. Or what was it that you said or did that triggered the event to happen? So I try to take that route. And a lot of times after I go through those questions, and sometimes I'm like, you're wrong. You're wrong.
Like from my perspective,
you're wrong.
It could have been handled differently.
Right.
You may not have been as, I do still try to hold the hand a little bit.
I know.
I do, you know what I mean?
Sometimes.
But it really depends on the extent of what's happening. You know what I'm saying?
But I always say to people, like, you're with this person, so you should know their personalities a lot better than I do. So if I'm seeing things about their personality that you're not seeing in the moment, that means that whatever happened, you were on defense from the start. That's how I perceive it.
What do you mean?
Like if I can see, like, I don't want to give names, but if, like, let's say we have one friend and her husband, they get into it, and now she's saying, oh, he did this, and then I said this, and then he did that, and then we're like, well, what started it?
Yeah.
Right. And then she can say, well, he said such and such, such and such, right? And I can go, well, knowing his personality, are you not sure that he meant it this way? And were you just defensive because what he said was directly correlated to your actions or something you should have done? So are you mad at
the way? Are you mad at what was said or how it was said?
Right. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So that's what I like. Sometimes I do that. Like, so, because sometimes so when I say, like,
not you trying to be a whole relationship counselor, Jesus.
Okay.
Go ahead.
But that's what I'm saying. Sometimes it's like, because I know I do that. In the heat of the moment, I'm not, if I feel like I'm being wronged, I'm not really listening to what you're saying.
And you get super defensive.
So that's how I know I can pick up on those things. Thank you for doubling down. Thank you.
I can't. So basically that's what? Emotional support. That's shared experiences, all benefits of having married friends.
But the thing to me, emotional support, like for friendship, right? Especially with your married friends, sometimes it's just listening. Because sometimes I'll just let you get it off your chest and I'll respond.
Yeah.
Like sometimes, because a lot of times, like, I feel like you know when you don't need to respond, when they are getting it off their chest and now they're starting to realize shit as they're talking.
Yeah, because the more you start to talk, you start to hear yourself, and then you be like,
damn, I was wrong.
All right, well, I mean.
Well, that's what they mean by that. Yeah.
I probably shouldn't have said fuck you at that moment.
That never happens to me.
What did we just talk about? What you look like on the outside, but on the inside, it's something completely different. Okay, so then what about like relationship dynamics, like as a perk?
Like to being married? I mean, if you have two people that work well together, that's a major benefit. But if you have one person that feels like they're shouldering more of the load than the other one, and the other person is content with that person shouldering the load, that can also be an issue.
Now, what happened? Okay, now what about your perspective on this? Because yes, there's millions of people who are married, right? But not everybody has a functional marriage. So
there is nothing there.
There is. It's a gnat. That's why I keep waving my hands like a crazy woman. What about trying to motivate a friend who is in a dysfunction? And you know that the relationship that they're in is a dysfunction, but they are married. So are you still giving the same advice? Are you still,
my advice would be,
because you still made a commitment.
My advice would be something like this. It's similar to last episode where I said you lines in the sand must be drawn.
Okay.
And you have to look at yourself and say, is this something that I'm willing to deal with for the rest of my life? Or is this something that's going to hinder me and I'm going to be resentful of the other person, right?
Okay.
So what I always say is, if things can't be fixed through conversation,
therapy,
or the other person just doesn't see it as being an issue, in those instances, I say you most likely are going to have to make the tough decision of whether or not you want to stay. Now, as your friend, I'm not going to advise you to leave. I'm going to advise you to exhaust every path
avenue possible. Right. That's me.
Right?
Unless there's like abuse or something.
Right. Before you leave. But I'm going to ask you, if you truly feel in your heart to heart at the end of the day, nothing will improve, are you willing to be unhappy for whatever time you have left?
For however long it takes. And I think that's the part.
I'm sorry. And I always say that's a question you have to answer for yourself, because I'm not in that relationship.
Right.
I can tell you what I would do. I'm not going to be unhappy.
Oh.
I'm not.
Oh, damn.
I'm not. I'm going to be happy.
I better watch.
Stop it. But then again, I don't have a relationship in where I'm unhappy to that level to where it's going to constantly affect me.
Yeah,
I have a marriage in which the communication is wide open, and we can talk to each other, and we both are actively trying to be the best version of ourselves for the other person. Everyone does not have that.
Right, but what if that changes?
If that changes, then you can stay. But what I'm saying is, if that other person is showing no interest in change because they are content, are they giving you excuse after excuse? Are they giving just reason or just cause, and they're saying, no, you're the one that's crazy, but you know how you feel? Because again, like we always say, your perception is your reality.
Right.
So at that point, you again have to decide whether or not this is something that you can live with and keep this unit together, or would you be better off walking away from the unit? Because I'm not saying that all marriages are doomed to fail.
That's not what the statistics say, though.
I understand that. I feel like all marriages require work, but that work has to be done on both sides. And when that work is not being done on both sides, then the marriage leads to ruin.
Yeah.
But I feel like you have to put up the effort first in order to achieve the higher level of connection and stability within each other for that to happen. And if one person doesn't want to help you move the bricks, if you're not comfortable carrying the bricks by yourself, then you know what you need to do.
I agree with that. I think the part that I get kind of hung up on, though, is the unhappy part, right? But like you said, you kind of have to determine how long you're willing to kind of be unhappy to work through the tough times, because the truth of the matter is that there's going to be a lot of times where you're not happy.
Right.
So you can't to say like, that's when you can reconsider things when you're not happy, because like, I'm not going to be happy. It is a 100% guarantee that you are going to go through a time where you're not happy.
But
when you have married friends who are in that spot, right? And then you have them calling you to kind of like, help them out with that. What type of conversation or what type of advice could you be giving to a friend who is in a spot where they are unhappy? And let's just say they say, it's been 2 years and I'm still unhappy.
I would ask them this, because again, I believe that happiness starts from within, right? So are there things about yourself that make you unhappy first? Because a lot of times you can be projecting your inner self onto the marriage, right? So you need to do the work within yourself first. And that's always the toughest thing, right? And then if you do the work on yourself and you realize, no, because 9 times out of 10, you played a small role in it. You played
a bigger role.
You played some type of role, right? If you go through the process of doing the work on yourself and then the other person still's not doing the work on themselves and they're not healing, then the unhappiness is still going to be there. But what I mean by unhappy, you have to say, am I unhappy for a season?
Right.
Or have I been unhappy for X amount of time? Like am I still having conversations about things that didn't sit right with me from 5 or 6 years ago? Like, have there been steps to improve those, or have we done things for face value in the moment and then regress back to what was before, right? Because when someone does something for face value and then regress, to me personally, what that is that I'm going to do just enough to get you off my back.
Right.
And then once you get comfortable, I'm going to slide back to where I was before.
Yeah.
So you have to look at the situation in whole, right? I'm not saying that leave him or leave her because you came home and she drank your last protein shake.
Bye, Maurice.
And you mad about that. I'm not saying something that small. I'm saying that when there's been a disconnect for a long period of time for whatever the reason, and you've done the work, and now you know that it's not yourself, and now you're bringing them the issue of what they're doing, and they're not willing to either have that conversation with you or address the issues that they're causing to you and affect the relationship in a positive light, then you consider maybe this is as far as we go at that point.
Okay.
But I'm saying that the work has to be done first.
Yeah, like all avenues have to be exhausted. Right. I've said this before and I'll say it again. If there's one thing marriage or being in long-term relationship has shown me, is that your partner becomes a mirror.
Yes.
Right? So I always like to take the perspective of the things that you complain about your partner, it's a mirror. So some of the things that you can complain about your partner are things that you see in yourself that you really don't like.
Okay.
Right? But it's going to be shown to you in your partner's actions, and that's what you're going to focus on. You're going to focus on what they're not doing. You're going to focus on how they're not progressing. You're going to focus on how they're not meeting your standards. You're going to keep focusing on all of those things. But if you actually look inward first, because, you know, we talk about that all the time. I do my best. I'm not perfect, but I do my best to try to look at myself first. When I feel like you have disappointed me, or when I feel like, oh, I thought it wasn't there. The gnat. If I feel like you've disappointed me, if I feel as though, you know, like the way you're moving about things is just, it doesn't correlate or align with how I think things should be going. The first thing I have to look at is myself.
Okay.
And I have to say, okay, he did this and that disappointed me. But what I'm really saying and what I'm really feeling is I'm disappointed in myself because I too could have stepped up in this way, or I too could have, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. It's almost like a mirror. So when I have these conversations with my other married friends, or if they're going through, you know, a difficult time with their partners, like, I'm not trying to be the asshole. I'm not trying to make them feel like they're out on a ledge by themselves by just not going in 100% and agreeing with them. But I always say, like, let's look at this. Yeah. Like, yes, I know I live with a man. So I totally get where
you do what?
I live with a man. So I totally get where you're coming from on some of these fronts. But some of the things, like the foundational things that you're complaining about your partner, about your spouse, where is that stemming from? Where is it coming from? But where, you know what I'm saying? And you usually, not always, you can find part of that within yourself, and the disappointments that you have within yourself, or the expectations that you're not meeting of self. Okay. And so you've projected those onto your partner. And so now they're sticking out like a shiny sore thumb because
not
a shiny one. They're sticking out like a shiny sore thumb because now all you can talk about is how they don't prioritize, how they don't manage, how they don't make time for, how they, you know what I'm saying? But
so in that instance, I'm happy you said that example, right? A lot of times what I do, me personally, when I feel like I'm not getting something from you, I then ask myself, the things that I'm requiring of you, or the things that I say that I'm lacking from you, have I been giving those things to you?
Right.
Because again, we're in a marriage. Everything is, for the most part, reciprocal, right? We each have our roles to play. So I always say this. And as a man, I personally feel, like I said before, to be a man, to be a husband, to be a good one, it's a selfish life, right? Selfless life, right? You're putting your family before you. It is just it. I know that it's not always fair. I know that sometimes it sucks, but it is the harsh reality of what it means to be a man, a good father, a good husband, a good provider. You're putting the good of the collective before yourself. So by doing that, applying it to your marriage, you have to then say, hey, if your lady comes to you and say, well, I need this from you, right? And I'm not getting this, and it makes me feel this way. What I try to do, and what I think all men should do, is don't get defensive in that act in that moment. Take in what she's saying, listen to her, because now you can't not. Because my thing is, I can't be mad at you for something if you're expressing to me how you feel, right? Regardless of how what you feel makes me feel.
Yeah, it's my feelings, and they're valid regardless.
Your feelings, right?
Yeah.
And I now need to separate my feelings from the feelings you're telling me and process why I feel this way about what you're telling me.
Yeah, you need to take your ego out of it.
And then once I process my feelings, I need to then, to the best of my ability, provide you with the emotional support or whatever task it is that you say you need from me, right? And then my mind is that now that I am providing you these things, because I think if I provide her what she says she's lacking, then in turn, most likely, which is true, will receive the things that I feel I'm lacking, because I understand that I have to pour into you so that you can pour into me.
Right. It's like if instead of focusing on what you feel like you're missing and what you need, if you focus on the needs of your partner, then usually in a natural reciprocal situation, your partner will start focusing on your needs. Like if you just made your day about what's going to bring me joy, put a smile on my face, then of course,
then the night gonna
eventually, eventually, like my brain is just like, oh, you know what? Like it just makes you want to do those things. Like, oh, I think he would really like this. I'm gonna do this.
Right. And that's what I'm trying to say. Like if I lead a day or lead a life or lead a path, whatever you want to call it, to where I am now making you a priority, right? I am making the house a priority, and I am checking off all the needs that you may have and some of the wants.
Yeah.
Right. I'm checking all this off, right? I'm making your day-to-day easier. That now opens up time and capacity in your brain, in your mind, for me. And it's almost like doing it's almost like self-service through giving, right? You have to understand that while you shouldn't do things to receive, but
it's a great starter. No, I'm joking.
But in the dynamic of a marriage, that tends to be how it happens.
Yeah.
Unless you're just married to an asshole that just wants to receive.
I mean, I can be an asshole sometimes.
Yeah, you are.
I'm not gonna deny that.
Like, I mean, I can be too.
Yeah, you
but
can.
As a man, especially as a father, because like, let's not even take the marriage. Let's take the marriage thing off the table. The father thing, right? As a father, if you're a good father, you're going to pour into your kids more than you pour into yourself.
Every dime you have.
And a lot of that is going to be underappreciated. They're not and not received well, especially if you're not giving them what they want in the moment. Right.
But you're not doing it to receive the praise.
Right. So if you take that same take that same mindset and apply that towards your wife. Be good, be good to your wife, be gentle to your wife, be loving, be compassionate towards your wife, feed into her spiritually, feed into her mentally. And don't do that because you expect it back. Do it because this is what you should be doing as the leader of the household. Then I guarantee you, if you have a good wife, if you have a good partner, you will receive back what you put out tenfold. And then you will receive it in ways you won't even really comprehend, because not only will your wife be in a better headspace, that's now going to flow and trickle down into the household, and now you're going to set a example to your children of what a healthy, productive relationship looks like, right? And like I always say, my goal right now is, now that my daughter is older and now I can see how she's looking at the dynamic of our marriage.
Because she is definitely paying attention.
She's watching, right?
She's definitely paying attention.
So now my goal right now is to show her and to provide her with the perfect example, as perfect as I can get it, of what she should be looking for and to pursue, so that when she goes out here, she's not impressed by some of these little heifers
Bye.
and these little
Goodbye.
thugs, you know.
Goodbye.
Like so I'm trying to get her to the point where she can understand of what to expect.
Mm-hmm.
So they always say that girls with high expectations are bougie or they're stuck up. No, they just come from a place where they were shown what is capable.
Yeah. And then they compare that to what they see out in the world. And then they're just like,
Right.
Because
my daddy.
Like that TikTok. Yeah. She was like, I call my daddy for everything.
Right. Because
Daddy, they charged me $52 for this tire. Is that right?
Right. So, but that's the thing. That's the thing as a man. And this is as men, we should be telling this to ourselves every day. Because a lot of times there is some good behind the whole suck it up, you're a man. There's some good behind. There's some good behind that. And there's a lot of bad behind it, but there is some good. It's situational.
Okay.
Right? Sometimes doing what is best for the family, even though it's to your own detriment, is good. Because what's good for the family ultimately will be good for you. No matter how much it sucks in the moment.
Nice.
There's a reason why when you look at a lot of marriages that last a long time, I'm not talking about rich folks, just like middle class folks, right, that last a long time. You ever notice how 9 times out of 10 the wife has a nicer car? Right? 9 times out of 10, the wife has a nicer car.
Okay.
Has the newer car.
Okay.
The kids have more stuff than dad.
Well, also because she usually needs the most reliable car because she has children.
But what I'm saying is that those are the small things that you sacrifice.
Yeah.
Right? To make sure that your family is safe and provided for.
Yeah.
And so that like to me, you having a nicer car is a way to ensure that, hey, I won't have to worry about you breaking down when I'm at work. I won't have to worry about you, your radiator blowing or you blowing a gasket.
But instead, I have to worry about you.
Okay, it's fine. But if something happens to me,
because you definitely are due for a new car.
But if something happens to me, I have the resources and the know-how to get home.
I need to have AAA.
Yeah. Okay. You gonna call me, ask them, what do I give them?
I mean, I won't.
Anyway.
I don't know if I have my card on me, but yeah.
Exactly.
You know, I got it.
You know, I told you can put your card in your Apple Wallet.
Really? I'm gonna have to do that because that'll just be a lot easier. But anywho, yes. So that would be advice that you would give to your your married friend.
Pour if you love that woman, pour into her.
Yeah, and I think that's honestly speaking from my own personal experience.
Okay.
I also think that's where a lot of disconnect comes from. Each other not pouring into each other anymore.
It's not
because
easy.
Eventually, like you can go into a spat that can last a little bit too long. Then that kind of turns into now you guys are just annoyed with each other. Then that turns into now I'm going to pick out all the things and all the reasons why you get on my nerves and why. Yeah, because you don't do this, you don't help here, you don't provide here, and I do all this on my own. I take care of this by myself. What do I need you for? And it's just like a snowball effect. Yeah. I agree, babe.
And all the while he's saying, well, I'm not doing that because you're not doing this.
And yes. Oh, that's the one. That's the moneymaker right there. I don't do such and such because you don't. And I'll be real honest with you. I've done that quite a few times.
I know.
Like I'm not gonna hold you. I've done that a few times.
I know.
And I try to be mindful of it when I
okay.
When I get to that space. But that's usually when you're like if I had this much nerve left. That's when you decide to pop a squat, like right there.
Okay. This has been.
That's when you decide to sit on, because the nerve is only like that big. And then here you come and you pop a squat right there. But I love you. We get through it. It's good.
I hope you guys had a great
Goodbye.
week. Are we not? Oh, I'm sorry.
Yes. So that was good, babe. All in all, I would just say that it is very beneficial to have married friends. Even, I mean, just the shared experiences alone is one of the top benefits because you're not going through anything that 9 times out of 10 your other married friends ain't been through yet, right? So that can also alleviate a lot of tension for someone, because I know I have somebody that I can vent to who has also experienced or who can relate to what I'm going through being in a marriage, who has made a commitment, being involved with someone. And then also there's all the fun stuff.
And also a lot
like double dating.
Yes.
So fun.
And
Taking
also,
trips.
And also a lot of
so fun.
A lot of problems can be addressed before marriage.
Oh, that's a whole nother
especially
topic.
if you're doing extensive interviewing.
Yeah, that's a whole nother episode. We'll have to touch on that.
A whole
nother episode.
A whole lot of.
But we're gonna go ahead and hop on into our 2 cents because I'm excited to make protein ranch.
Wow.
So
all right, here we go. Let's get into it.
I think I just came up with a new hack, guys, for some protein ranch. So I'm just being honest.
Okay, go ahead.
I'm trying to get to my protein ranch. Okay. So this one is, my brother-in-law confessed feelings for me after I went wedding dress shopping with his fiance.
Whoa, hold on now.
Okay, I'm pretty overwhelmed,
okay.
so I'll start with some background. I've been with my husband for 5 years. We've been married for 2. Since early on in the relationship, I've been great friends with his older brother, partially because I always wanted one. When he started dating a girl about 2 years ago, I went out of my way to make sure she had a friend in me. I made sure that she knew she had a friend in me if she wanted, since we're the only girls in the family. We're great friends now, and since they got married 3 months ago. I've been helping with wedding planning and was asked to be a bridesmaid. We went dress shopping today and had a blast. We went to brunch, had some mimosas, found the dress, and then we went back to their house to celebrate. I ended up alone in the kitchen with my brother-in-law a bit after being there, and he said that he just had something to tell me before it keeps eating him up. I was a little buzzed and confused, but not at all was I expecting him to say what he did. And what he said was, I think I've had feelings for you for a few years now, and I've never been able to tell you, and I just wanted you to know in case you ever felt the same. I was completely froze, and I just shook my head. I told him, no, I have never thought about him in that way or any other way other than being a friend and a brother, and that I would never. Before he said anything else, I bolted back to his fiance and the other girls that were in the living room, and very discreetly told them that I got my period and that I wasn't feeling well and that I would have someone come get me and then come by soon for more wedding planning. She thought nothing of it, and I called my best friend to come get me. She dropped me off at home. My husband is working right now, and there is no question that I am going to tell him as soon as he gets home. But I just have no idea where to go from there. Do I tell his fiance? Do I make him tell her? Do I leave it alone? Do I have my husband talk to him? Has anyone ever had something like this happen to them? If you have any advice, it would be appreciated.
First question is, was he sober?
Does that matter?
It don't matter. If he was drunk.
If it was drunk, it's worse.
Because drunk talk is
sober thoughts.
Yes. Definitely, I would definitely tell your husband.
She says she's definitely telling him as soon as he gets off work.
I would say tell your husband, let your husband deal with his brother.
Okay.
And where this goes from here, obviously, if he felt that strongly, maybe his fiance would know. But I would say that if word does get back to his fiance, that friendship you guys have will most likely be no more if she decides to stay with him.
Well, she probably won't even marry him after that. And here's the thing. I also feel like I need a little bit more background and information too, because is he saying that he had feelings for her? Because I think he said he had feelings for her. He said, I think I've had feelings. I've had feelings for you for the past few years.
But see, here's the thing. I also want to know what kind of guy he is, because a lot of times guys confuse women being nice to them
and attractive with them having feelings for
them, right? With them showing them signs. That's why the second part was like, I don't know if you ever felt this way.
I have not.
And the way and the way that she started saying that she always wanted a big brother, so she was probably nice because she wanted a big brother,
right? And so she liked the relationship that they had,
and so he probably saw it as something else. Like he probably saw it as blue when she was like, "Nah, pimp, it's red."
Yeah, like they were probably always giggly.
Right.
They probably talked a lot. And so he was probably like, that's why guys can't be in friend zones.
He probably he probably completely misperceived what was actually going on.
Mm-hmm.
And to that point, the air needs to be cleared.
And to that point, homeboy, you need to just keep that information to yourself. Go ahead and get married.
Me personally, I wouldn't have said nothing.
I know, and that's another thing.
I would have took it to my grave.
Why would you even say it and you're about to get married? We just went and found her dress today. Why? You could have told me that prior to you getting engaged.
I would have took it to my grave.
Nobody else had to know that. You've been suffering in silence this long.
Right.
You can go the rest of your lifetime looking at me and your brother be nice and happy and mistaking our friendship
because he could also be jealous of his brother. There's a lot of things that could be going on.
You're right. I mean, but do you think she should say something to him? Well, you already said you think she should let her husband handle it.
She should tell her husband, let her husband deal with his brother.
Okay.
And if the fiance, if the words get back to fiance, he started it.
He started it?
Yeah.
What if her husband decides not to say anything to him?
It's like this. Let's say I'm out with a friend of ours, right? A female friend of ours. And
by yourself?
Yeah.
That would never happen.
No, I mean, not by myself, but like I'm in a group setting.
Oh, okay.
Right? It's not just me and her, but it's me, her, and some other people.
I was like, that wouldn't happen.
Right? And she tells me that she thinks she has feelings for me. Right?
The first thing you're doing.
The first thing I'm doing
is texting me.
I'm not going to text you because if I text you, you're going to pull up. I'm not going to text you because I know you're going to pull up.
In case anybody has ever wondered, I will seriously injure you over my husband.
So then obviously I'll be like, oh, well, I don't. Let's cut that down.
Oh, I don't.
But when I got home, I would tell you.
Of course.
Right? Mm-hmm. Because as my wife, look here, people.
I will seriously cause bodily harm if you mess with my husband.
Your boy Molito can keep a secret from everybody but my wife.
My husband cannot hold water.
To you.
Don't let him fool you.
To you.
Okay.
I tell you all the tea. If you tell me tea, it's spilling over here. You hear me? We might be.
I'm gonna tell my wife.
You might as well look at us as a tea set. I'm gonna tell you.
Wait, was somebody telling you a secret? You be like, give me a second. Let me put my wife in because she gonna know anyway.
There's been times where people would talk to me and I'm texting you while they telling me. I'm gonna tell my wife because you're not finna tell me a secret and I can't talk to nobody about it.
This is the only person I can talk
But I want you to know. I want you to understand.
We a tea set.
That we are a tea set, but your secrets are safe here. They're not.
Yeah, they don't leave. They don't leave.
They here.
They don't leave our covenant. I promise.
But they're not gonna leave here.
They're not gonna leave our covenant.
She's doing the right thing. Tell your husband. Let your husband deal with his brother, and let the brother deal with the consequences of his action.
Yeah.
Because you are a grown man, and like we tell our daughter, there are consequences to your actions. That don't stop, no matter what age you get.
They just get worse as you get older.
That's it. But I'm gonna tell my wife. And we're gonna talk about it.
All right, guys. This has been another episode of the Life After I Do podcast. If you are not doing so already, it is 2025, guys. Okay. If you are not following this podcast already, first of all, you're not really for us. Let's start there. You fake as hell.
Wow. No, okay.
I'm gonna just start being real aggressive. If you ain't followed, if you ain't shared, if you ain't liked, you fake as hell. Because don't be coming to me telling me how you listened to an episode and thought that I was being funny or thought that he was being funny, but you ain't liked, followed, or shared on nothing. You fake as hell.
You can't talk to Latana no more.
You fake as hell.
This is Latana talking right here.
You fake.
This is my sister talking.
It's 2025. I'm 30 great.
Too much.
It is 2025. I'm 30 great.
Okay.
I'm not going to sugarcoat nothing. Okay. But go ahead and follow us.
I guess she popped that switch for her and for y'all in Phoenix. Because she is mean.
2025, guys. Okay. I don't want to hear no more conversations about how you loved the episode. But when I go to check, you ain't followed. But you listening every week. It's diabolical.
Diabolical.
That you listening every week. It's diabolical. And that you can send me private messages.
Right.
And be like, oh my gosh, you are so hilarious. That part where it's Mo said such a... But then when I go to check my list, I'd be like, baby, where's the follow? Where's the like? Where's the comment? Where's the share? But baby boo. Baby. Listen, I don't need fake energy in 2025. I don't.
Okay.
I don't need fake energy. So if you're not doing so already, like, comment, and share, okay?
Subscribe.
The podcast, A Life After I Do podcast. You can find us on all major social media platforms. Instagram, YouTube, Facebook. We're not on X, but we should be.
Okay.
We should be.
Maybe we might be. I guess
so
we might be.
at Life After I Do podcast, you can also write into the podcast at lifeafteridopodcast@gmail.com. You get a new episode every single Wednesday. You get an hour 2 cents every Monday. There is no excuse not to stay connected and plugged in to the podcast. That's all I'm saying.
If you're locked in, ain't no switching up.
Hey,
if you're locked in, ain't no switching up.
Hey. And you know we a T-set. He just said we a T-set.
We a T-set.
Okay, so when you be calling and you be trying to ha-ha and kiki and you don't like, comment, share, or anything like that, I'm telling my other teapot. Okay? Or teacup, because we a T-set.
Teacup.
Short and stout. Okay, I'm gonna go make my protein ranch.
We love y'all.
Okay, love you.
Peace,
Peace, Booskies.